Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Giomini. Wanted to come to you with a little bit of review of prime factorization, especially how it relates to last night's evening practice. Didn't get up emails, a little bit of confusion. So let's take a look. I'm going to write 75 down here. Now, the first thing I know about prime factorization is I want to find out numbers that multiply together to get each of the numbers that I'm breaking branches off of. So the first thing I see here is this ends, or this has a 5 in the ones place. So I know that 5 is a factor of 75. So I'll put the 5 here. And now I have to figure out what times 5 gives me 75. I don't know from the top of my head, so I'll go 75 divided by 5. 5 times 1 gives me 5, so I'll put that underneath. That's 2. Bring down the 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. So I know that 5 times 15 will give me 75. So 5 and 15 are factors of 75. Now I need to look and see which one of those numbers are prime. Now, prime numbers only have two factors, 1 in itself. So I can only multiply 1 in itself to get that number. So 5 is prime because the only numbers I can multiply to get 5, or the numbers are factors of 5, are 1 and 5. Now let's look at 15. Again, it also ends in a 5, so I know that 5 goes into it. So it's 5, which is prime because it's prime up there, so it's going to be prime down here. 5 times 3. 3 is also prime because it only has two factors, 1 and 3. So when I go to type this in my answer, I like to go from smallest to largest in ascending order. So I go 3 times 5 times 5. Now in this, you're going to go 3x, 3 times 5 times 5. Let me put that x there again. And check my answer. All right, good. Let's try another one. 31. Now 31 is a little bit more challenging. I take 31, I put my my branches underneath. Now, first of all, it does not end in a 0, so 10 or 5 will not go into it. Nor will and it doesn't end in an even number, so I know that 2 won't go into it. Now, the other rule to check divisibility for 3, if 3 is a factor, I add the numbers together, or add the digits, I should say. 3 plus 1 is 4. Is 4 a multiple of 3? No, 3 will not go into it. And what I could be doing is just writing my numbers over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to go with some of the easy ones I know. So we said 10 won't go into it, 2 won't go into it, 3 won't go into it, 5 won't go into it. If it's not even, 4 or 6 won't go into it either. 7. Now, what times 7 gives me close to 31? 7 times 4, that only gives me 28. That's not going to work. 8. 8 times 4 is 32. That's not going to work. 9. 9 is the same trick for 3. I add the digits together. Oops, no, I'm thinking 9 in my head here. 3 plus 1 again is 4. Now, 4 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 won't work. So this number is prime already, so I just type in 31. All right. 56. I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have 56. Now, what times what is 56? Well, I can cross out 5 and 10 because it ends in a 6. And they only work if it ends in a 5 or a 0 or a 0. Now, I could try 2 because I know 2 goes into all even numbers. So I'll break this up and put a 2 here. Now, if I don't know what half of 56 is, I can always divide 56 divided by 2. But I happen to know half of 56 is 28. Now, I do know that 2 is prime, so I'll circle that. 28 is not prime. It ends in an even number. So I'm going to break that off into 2 more branches. Now, I'm pretty good at multiplication, so I know that 4 times 7 gives me 28. 7 is prime because it only has two factors, 1 and 7. 4 is not prime, so I'll branch that off, and we have 2 times 2. So I'll circle those. 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. I'm just looking at the numbers that are circled. So I go up here, 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. And I can always check this by saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. So my prime factorization string here should also equal 56. Take a look. All right, now we have 37. Okay, let's list my numbers here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, we know 10 and 5 won't work because it doesn't end in a 5 or 0. It ends in an odd number, so 2 won't work, 4 won't work, 6 won't work if 2 doesn't work. If I check 7, what times 7 gives me close to 37? Well, 7 times 5, which means 7 is not going to 37 easily, so it's not a factor. The rule for 3 and 9 is to add the digits together. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 is not a multiple of 3, nor is it a multiple of 9. The only number I have left is 8. What times 8 will give me close to 37? 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40, so nothing. So it's already has its prime factors. Hope this helps you out a little bit with the prime factorization skill on Khan. Take care.